Are you looking for an RV that costs under $15,000? Well, we are at an RV show. We found 3 different dealers. They each have a travel trailer under $15K show price. Stick around, folks. You're going to want to check these out. Hey everybody, Mike from RVBlogger here in front of the camera, and Susan's behind the camera. And if you've seen us before on YouTube, welcome back to the channel. And if this is your first time seeing us, welcome aboard. Susan and I travel all around the country visiting RV dealerships and RV shows so that we can shoot our tours of RVs and then bring them right to you in the comfort of your own home. Now, if you'd like to learn even more about RVing, we invite you to head on over to RVblogger.com and sign up for our weekly newsletters. You can just scroll about halfway down the home page, fill out your name and your email, and you'll get our newsletters every single week. And you'll also get our YouTube videos in the newsletters as well, so you can be one of the most well-informed RVers out there. And when you sign up, we have a special gift. You'll also receive a free subscription to RV Today eMagazine, so you can be fully informed about what's going on in the RV space. Now today we're going to be taking a look at travel trailers that are under $15,000. Now when you go to our videos, we always post the MSRP, manufacturer's suggested retail price, for every RV in the video, but that's not what you should pay for an RV. It's just the MSRP. But we post that number because that's consistent no matter where you go. Today we happen to be at an RV show and we found 3 different dealers, and each one of them had an RV that was under $15,000. And so here we are at an RV show where you can get great prices on great RVs. And so we'll show the MSRP as well, but we're also going to show you the show price. So without any further ado, let's get started on our review of awesome travel trailers under $15,000 show price. This travel trailer is the Dutchmen Colorado, model number 17BHC. It has an MSRP of $20,640, but as you can see, it's got an unbelievable show price of $12,995. The unloaded vehicle weight is 3,037 pounds. The cargo carry capacity is 953 pounds for an overall gross vehicle weight rating of 3,990 pounds. The hitch weight is 399 pounds. It measures in at 21 feet, 5 inches long, and it can sleep up to 5 people. When you first walk into this travel trailer, on the right-hand side is where the bed is located. Then we wrap on around through the dinette and kitchen area. Bunk beds are on my left, and the bathroom's behind me. Now, our first impression when we walked into this RV is that this has everything you need for a basic travel trailer. It could be a fantastic option for a family that's looking to save a few bucks on a camper, but still get out and enjoy some long weekends together and have a great time in the great outdoors. Now, on my right-hand side here is where the bed is located. And again, it's just very simple. Up top here, you have a shelf that you can stow some things away. I would imagine, you might bring like a soft duffel bag full of your clothes and be able to pop those duffel bags up here once you're at your campground. Your bed itself, it looks like it's a pretty decent size. Let's find out how big it is. It's 74 inches and it is about 60 inches wide. And so this would be considered a short queen size bed in an RV. A normal queen size bed would be 80 inches long, and this one is 74. It's a very common size that you'll find in travel trailers. Underneath of the bed, there's even a little bit of storage under here that you can access as well, so you can put more clothes or comforters or pillows or things like that underneath of your bed. At this end of the bed, there's like a little shelf that's here, and there actually is storage underneath of that you can access from outside of the RV. But there's also a receptacle here, so if you wanted to plug in anything here that you needed, like, plug in your phones or computer overnight, you could do that. Up top here is where your TV would mount on the wall. There's a receptacle up in the ceiling as well as a cable outlet here. And so if you put this on a swing arm, you'd be able to see it while you're laying in bed, or swing it out and see it from the dinette, however you would like to set that up. Now, right next to your bed is where the dinette is located, and this dinette can seat 4 people. The table itself is a freestanding table. So you can move it around. You could take it outside if you wanted to and use it out there if you needed. But it's really easy to move it around. And I like the fact that it's freestanding. Now, the table itself will also drop down and the dinette will convert into a bed. And if we were to do that, let's get some measurements on it. You would end up with a bed here that's about, we'll call it 71 inches by about 40 inches wide. So, you know, a kid would be able to sleep here pretty easily, maybe a smaller sized adult. Over top of the dinette, we have this cabinetry here with a, you know, a nice glass panel built into it. You can access some storage in here very easily. And then, of course, you've got a window over top of your dinette table. Now, if you were going to sit here and do some trip planning or work on your computer or something like that, there actually is a plug underneath on one of the dinette booths that you can plug in under there. And both of the dinette booths have storage underneath of them as well, so you can store some stuff under there. Now, right across from the dinette booth is where the kitchen is located. Up top here, we have these two nice doors with, you know, just lift them up and store things in there. Now, since this is a more basic camper, it doesn't really have the hardware in it that will hold the doors up for you. So you have to hold it up and reach in there. Not a big deal. But you can buy the hardware online so that when you put these in the up position, they stay there, which makes access a little bit easier. Underneath of the cabinet, you've got a light here, and it turns on and off at the location, which is a nice feature. Then you have a really nice size window over top of the kitchen sink. Kitchen sink itself is a little small in my opinion. It's not really deep enough. The size of it is probably okay, but it should be a little bit deeper. But it does have a gooseneck faucet overhead. And then we have a 2-burner stove here that's turned front to back, so it does help save some countertop space. On this side of the kitchen sink is where you'll find an outlet. And so if you needed to plug in your coffee maker or toaster or blender if you're making margaritas, boom, you got everything right there. There is a drawer here for your kitchen utensils. And under that, we have some storage, really nice size storage there. And then a little bit of storage underneath of your kitchen sink as well. Now, just beyond the kitchen burners and all that is where your microwave and refrigerator are located. But I do want to point out that this is called an inline kitchen setup. All it means is that all of your kitchen features are all in a line. It's a very efficient use of space. Up top here, we've got our microwave oven. And then down below that, we have a small refrigerator. And there is a little freezer area up top for a couple of ice trays. I don't know about you guys. I enjoy cocktails, not beers. And so I would need a lot more ice than what you could make in here. So you can always buy like a countertop ice maker and take that with you in your camper. I wrote an article about the 5 best ice makers that you can buy. I used to own and use one myself. So check that out if you're interested. We'll put the link over to that article in the show notes down below. You know, a countertop ice maker will be perfect in this type of RV. Just to my left over here is where the bunks are located. Now, when we look at bunk beds, we try to look at, you know, 4 major features that really make a bunk bed fully useful and functional for when your kids are sleeping in here. Now, one of those features is a light, the other is a window, and then the other is USB or C ports, and then finally an electrical outlet. This particular bunk has 2 of those 4 features up top, and then down below, it's got 2 features down there. The 2 features up top are the USB and the light. The 2 features down below are a window and a light. There is no USB or outlet down below. So if the kids need anything charged, they'd have to charge it before they went to bed if they were sleeping on the bottom bunk. A couple of things to point out here. The top bunk has a 300-pound capacity. Now, let's talk about your bunk capacities for a minute. Just because it says 300 pounds, a 300-pound person could sleep on here because it's dead weight, right? You're not rolling down the road. If you're driving down the road, do not think you can put 300 pounds worth of gear up here, because as your travel trailer's bouncing as it drives down the road, that 300 pounds could, you know, break through here and hurt your bunk. Down below, there's a really cool feature where you can lift it up, and there's even some storage underneath of this bunk, which is a great feature. So let's get a quick measurement on these bunks and see what we have. They are 73 inches, and they are both, we'll call it 28 inches wide. So they're really perfect for a couple of kids to be able to sleep here very, very comfortably. Now here we are in the bathroom all the way in the back of this trailer, and I'm standing here in the shower. Now there is a little vent here. It doesn't have a vent fan. It's just a vent that opens in the roof. And when I'm standing here with my head in the vent fan, there's only an inch overhead. So you've got about 6 feet of height before you hit the screen on the fan in here. The overall ceiling height throughout the camper outside of the shower is going to be 6 feet 3 inches. So for your taller folks, you know, this one might be a bit of a tight squeeze, but for your average height people, this could be a great choice. Now the shower itself is just very, very basic, right? It's got a basic shower set up here with a basic shower wand. And then it's got a shower curtain here as well. Now there's no place in here for you to hang up or store any shampoo or soap. So in that case, we would probably get, you know, a separate shelf and mount it on the wall in here so you can store that stuff, or maybe one of those mesh, I don't know what you call them. What do you call them, honey? Those mesh packs?
Toiletry holder?
A toiletry holder, and you could mount that on the wall. But there are a lot of aftermarket products that you can buy to hold your soap and shampoo for you. Also in here, there's no shower surround. This is just the regular trailer walls that are throughout this entire trailer, and they've just caulked all the corners really well to make sure it doesn't leak. So again, it's a very basic setup. It's perfectly fine to do that, but if you did buy this kind of a trailer, you'd have to make sure all of your caulk joints are in good condition before you take a shower. Remember, when you're driving up and down the road, your RV is going to flex a little bit, and some of these caulk joints may crack over time, and then water can get behind those cracks and cause damage. So in that case, you just want to make sure you maintain things really well and make sure that caulk is maintained especially well. Now outside of the shower, again, very basic. There's no sink in here, so you'd probably have to get like a hand sanitizer dispenser and mount that on the wall. So after you use the bathroom, boom, you got some hand sanitizer here and you're good to go. There is a little hook here on the wall for a towel, but I'd put more. You know, you're going to have more than one person that needs a towel. You could mount them at several places in here, have plenty of hooks for towels and things to hang and dry. Finally, when I'm sitting here on the commode, man, I'm really close to passing the elbow test on my left, but on my right hand side, I've got plenty of room. Now here we are outside the camper, and remember inside at one end of the bed I showed you where there was some storage area underneath. Well, this is it right here, and you've got an okay amount of storage space. Travel trailers really aren't really that great for storage towards the outside of them, so you do have one storage compartment here that you can access. Everything else though, you're going to have to stow it inside while you're rolling down the road. Hey, you caught me in what our good friend Matt would call prime pooping position, but there's more to an RV bathroom than just having enough elbow space. It also needs to smell good in here, and you need to keep your tanks in good working order. That's why we're here today to talk to you about Matt's liquefied tank treatment. We've been using it for a couple of years now. We love it. We think it works just great. It's available in liquid form. You can buy a bag of pods, or you can also get the powder form, and it comes in either an orange or lavender scent. Like I said, we've been using it a couple years. We've had our tanks professionally cleaned by Clean Tank. We got an A on both of our black tanks in our rig, and I'm sure it'll help keep your tanks nice and clean as well. And in addition to the tank treatment, Matt also has toilet bowl cleaner and tank and sensor cleaner, which I would recommend you use about every 3 to 6 months to keep your tank smelling nice and clean and fresh as well. Now, in addition to buying these great products from Matt, Matt is also doing an RV giveaway. And between now and May 31st of 2025, you can enter for the giveaway. We're going to give away a 2025 Alliance Delta travel trailer. This is a $43,000 travel trailer. It's meant for luxury and adventure, and you're going to have a great time in the road, and your tanks are going to be in great shape because you'll be using Matt's liquefied. Now, you have to be 18 or older to enter and live in the lower 48 of the US or in Canada. And that's it. Fill out the short survey, you're done. Or you can buy some of Matt's liquefied while you're on his website Every dollar you spend gets you an entry into the contest. So you spend 30 bucks on some tank treatment, boom, you got 30 entries to win the free travel trailer. So click the link on the QR code right on the screen or find our link in the description down below, and that'll get you over to Matt's and you can get entered to win a free RV. This travel trailer is the Jayco Jay Flight SLX, model number 170BH. It has an MSRP of $22,493, but it's got a great show price of $13,995. The unloaded vehicle weight is just 3,000 pounds. It has a cargo carry capacity of 795 pounds for an overall gross vehicle weight rating of 3,795 pounds. The hitch weight is 315 pounds. It measures in at 21 feet, 3 inches long, and it can sleep up to 5 people. When you first walk into this travel trailer, on the right-hand side is where your bed is located. Then we wrap on around through the dinette and kitchen area. On my left is where your bunk beds are, and behind me is the bathroom. Now, our first impression when we walked into this RV is that it feels pretty spacious for a smaller RV that does not have any slide outs. It just feels nice and roomy in here. You've got everything you need for a great camping trip. Now, on my right-hand side here is where the bed is located. Up top here, we have a nice size storage area. It's all wide open here, but I would probably get some cargo netting or something and install it here across the front so things don't fall out while you're traveling down the road. Just an idea. On the right-hand side, you have a little wardrobe cabinet here with a mirror door on the front, so that's really a nice thing. Your TV location is right here also, so you can mount your TV on the wall, plug it in right here. You've got your cable outlet here as well, and then you can see the TV from both your bed and the dinette very, very easily. Now, the bed itself, let's get a measurement on this real quick. Oh, wow, it's 80 inches, and it is 60 inches wide. So this is a residential queen-sized mattress that's in here. So that's great. That's a really nice sized mattress to have. You'll be very comfortable on there, except for one little problem. You won't be very comfortable on there. You know why? Because in brand new RVs, they usually supply you with a pretty inexpensive, cheap mattress, right? They're usually 4 or 5 inches thick. They're not very good quality at all. They'll get you by for a year, but at some point, you're going to start waking up with backaches and you're not going to be sleeping real well through the night. We had the same issue with both of our RVs. We had to go and buy a better mattress at some point. Now, if you're going to do that, we recommend that you sign up for our awesome newsletters. Just go to RVBlogger.com. On the home page, you can sign up right there. We've had over 160,000 people sign up for our newsletters. And why? Because they like to read all of our informative articles and also see our videos. But we also put awesome discounts in there for our viewers and subscribers. We reach out to all kinds of folks related to the RV industry. And we have mattresses from RV Mattress by Brooklyn Bedding, where you can get a 30% discount. So we put all that stuff out in our newsletters, and if you want to get that stuff, like I said, just hit us up at RVBlogger.com, sign up, and then you'll get all the discounts for all these great products that we have and recommend. And these are things that we use ourselves, by the way. We don't have discount codes, and we don't recommend stuff that we don't use ourselves. So hit us up, and we'll get you ready to go on the road with a brand new quality mattress instead of the one that just comes with your RV. Now, you'll also notice at the foot of the bed here, there is a receptacle and a USB port, and there's a little bit of a shelf here. This is actually over top of some storage that you can access from outside of your RV, and we'll take a look at that at the end of the tour. But there's also additional storage here underneath of your mattress, and you can sort of see the exterior door that you can get to there, but you can reach everything much easier coming inside and getting to it from underneath of your RV mattress. Now, on the other end of the bed here, they have a wall-mounted AC unit. Now, there's a lot of benefits to the wall-mounted AC units. One of them is that they're very inexpensive. So if anything ever happens to this, you could easily replace it for, less than a couple of $100. The other thing is it keeps the price of the RV much lower than the roof-mounted AC units that you see on most RVs. Those are much more expensive, in the neighborhood of a couple $1,000 or at least over $1,000 anyway, whereas these are under 200. So helps to keep the price down, and if anything ever goes wrong with it, very easy to replace. Now the dinette in here is very comfy. I like the nice cushions that they have in here. You could sit in here and, you know, 4 people could very easily sit here. And the way that this dinette table works is it actually hooks to the wall, and then it just has one pole on this end to hold it up. So my feet can fit under here much easier. We've seen some RVs that actually have 2 of these poles underneath. It's not as stable of a table, and there's nowhere to put your feet. But 4 people could sit here pretty comfortably and enjoy a meal. But up above here, we have a nice cabinet here where you can store some things away. There's a light right here that lights up the table nicely. We have a nice window over top of the dinette table as well. And under this side of the booth, there's additional storage here as well. Now the table here will drop down, and this can also convert into another bed if you need it to. And if you were to do that, you would end up with a bed that is 71 inches by 38 inches. And so a child would be able to sleep here very comfortably and be nice and cozy at night. Across from the dinette is where your kitchen is located. This is an inline kitchen because everything's in a line. Starting from up top here, you've got this nice big storage cabinet here. And then next to that, we've got our microwave oven. Below here, we have this open storage area. It's pretty big. Again, I would probably install some cargo netting or something here to hold things in place while you're driving down the road so they don't fall out. The kitchen also has a 2-burner stove here, and I love the fact that they turn the burner sideways. So the burners go front to back. It just gives you a little bit more countertop space in here. The sink itself is a single bowl sink. I wish this sink was a little deeper. I think it would be very difficult to wash dishes with this shallow of a sink, but it's got a gooseneck faucet overhead, and then of course you have a nice window over top of that. And then you do pick up some extra countertop space on this side of the sink, and there's a receptacle here. So if you want to set up your coffee pot, boom, there you go. You're in a great spot for that. Down below, we have plenty of storage here underneath of the kitchen sink. I mean, that's just a ton of storage under there. And then we have a couple of drawers here for all of your kitchen utensils. And then below that, there's additional open storage as well. One last thing in the kitchen is the refrigerator here. Now this is just a small size fridge. The door actually swings the wrong way in my opinion. You wouldn't want the door to swing this way, so it'd be easier to access things. And it's very easy to switch the door swings on most refrigerators. You can look it up on YouTube and learn how to do it yourself. It's very, very simple to do. But this small fridge is plenty of room for an adventure-packed weekend, and it even has a spot up top here where you can have a couple of ice trays for some ice cubes. Now, just across from the fridge is where the bunk beds are located. These bunk beds, let's get a quick measurement on them. They are 74 inches by 30 inches wide, so not bad for a couple of kiddos to be able to sleep on these bunks. The top bunk has a light up top, and it also has a couple of USB ports. Down below here, we have a window and a couple of USB ports. And then the weight capacity on these is 300 pounds when sleeping, 200 pounds for storage. And the reason they say that is because when you're driving down the road and bouncing, if you have 300 pounds on here, you might break your bunks because that weight, you know, it's smashing up and down when you're driving down the road. So they only recommend 200 pounds of storage on these bunks. Underneath of the bottom bunk, there's additional storage under there as well. So you can throw things under there, or maybe put the dog kennel under there or something along those lines. Now here I am in the bathroom all the way in the back of this trailer right next to the bunk beds. And this is a very basic camper, but it's very inexpensive as well. And so as I'm standing in here, there's one really cool feature, and that is that it's got a bathtub. So if you have a couple of little kids, or I don't know, maybe you have a small dog that you need to wash off once in a while, this would be a perfect spot for that. Now, as far as ceiling height in here goes, we have a little, open vent here. It doesn't have a fan in it or anything, but it does open up to let some humidity out. And if we measure up into this, from the bottom of the bathtub, we have 6 feet 4 inches of headroom. And let's get the headroom in the entire camper from the floor to ceiling, and that's 6 feet 6 inches. So, you know, pretty good for some of you taller guys. You might be able to fit in here pretty well. The shower itself is just very basic. It's got a shower wand. There's no real shower surround in here. It's just the regular walls that are in here, and they're caulked in position so any moisture can't get through the corners and behind there to create any problems. You'll need to make sure you maintain your rig on a regular basis. If that caulk cracks at all, then water can get back there. So you have to do a good job of making sure you're all caulked up so you don't have any water problems. This also comes with a shower curtain, but it's on a track that actually goes out and away from the shower, so it gives you a little bit more room in here when the shower curtain is closed. Now, there is no sink in this bathroom because they're trying to save space. It's a smaller size travel trailer, so I would probably just mount, you know, a hand sanitizer thing on the wall, and after you're done using the restroom, you can get some hand sanitizer, wash your hands, and you're good to go. I'd probably also mount maybe some hooks on the walls for all your towels and washcloths to dry out when you're not using them. You could even mount a medicine cabinet on the wall in here. You can buy a medicine cabinet at you know, any Home Depot for under $100 and mount it on the wall, and then there you go. You have some more storage inside your bathroom. As far as sitting on the commode goes, not going to pass the elbow test on my left, but on the right-hand side, I've got plenty of room. Now here we are outside of this camper, and as I mentioned, under the bed up front, we lifted up the mattress and saw that big storage area. And then this is your door where you can access that same storage area from outside your camper. This travel trailer is the Forest River Viking, model number 17FQ. It has an MSRP of $23,455, but an unbelievable show price of $14,995. The unloaded vehicle weight is 2,908 pounds. The cargo carry capacity is 925 pounds for an overall gross vehicle weight rating of 3,833 pounds. The hitch weight is 333 pounds. It measures in at 20 feet, 4 inches long, and it can sleep up to 3 people. When you first walk in this travel trailer, on the right-hand side is where the bed is located. Then we wrap on around through the dinette and kitchen area, and behind me is where the bathroom is located. Now, our first impression when we walk in here is that this camper's got everything you need for a great camping adventure, and we'll go through all those features as we work our way through the tour. But starting out on my right-hand side here, this is where your bed area is located. You'll notice up top here we have this nice large open storage shelf here. I would probably get some cargo netting or something and put it up here to keep things from falling out while I was traveling down the road. But on each side of that shelf, we've got a wardrobe closet here, so you can hang up your garments in here because there's a little pole up top. So that's a really great feature to have. Underneath of the wardrobe cabinets, you have a little nightstand on each side of the bed, and there's also a receptacle, electrical receptacle on each side, and the one side over there has a USB and C port. And the way they've done these end tables, they have some open storage underneath of them, so you can stow things away there as well. Now, the bed in here always stays in this position, and I guess, you know, maybe we could say it would be a little bit roomier in here if this was a Murphy bed, but for some folks, they just don't like Murphy beds because they want to have one big mattress instead of maybe a mattress that folds, or they don't like the idea of the bed flipping up. But in this case, the bed is always in the bed position. The size of this mattress is 72 inches, and the width on it is 60 inches. So I would call this a really short queen size bed. A residential queen is 80 inches. Most of the time in RVs we see short queens, which are 74, but this one is only 72 inches long. Underneath of the bed though, you can lift this up and there is some additional storage under there too, so you can make the most of the space that you have available. Overhead, there's also a light here that turns on and off right at the location, so you can use that as a reading light. And then on the other side of the bed, there's a window there that you can open. And even though this is kind of your emergency window, you can still use it as a regular window because it has a screen. So you can just open this up and get a nice cross ventilation through your travel trailer. Now here we are at the dinette location, and starting from the top here, we have a nice big cabinet up top here. And then under that, we have another light that turns on and off right at location, so you can use this for your dinette. A nice size window here over the dinette that opens up, and then we have a receptacle here. So if you're working at your dinette table on your computer, you can plug it right in, and it's very, very convenient. You could also put kitchen appliances here. Maybe you got a blender you set up or a waffle iron. I don't know. You could do anything you want and have a place to plug it in right there. The dinette booths are a little bit small in my opinion, and I don't like the way that we have two poles under the table, but I am managing to sit here pretty comfortably, and my feet do stay on my side of the dinette table, so Susan won't get too mad at me for kicking her under the table like I usually do. Now, underneath one of the dinette booth benches, there is additional storage there, and this top will drop down, and this will convert into another bed. And so if you did that, let's get a measurement real quick and see what we're looking at here. This would be about 68 inches by about 30 inches wide, so it's big enough for a kid to be able to sleep here pretty comfortably. Over top of the dinette, this is where your TV would mount on the wall, and you can see you've got a cable and an outlet here to plug it all in. Across from that is where your kitchen is located. Starting up top here, we've got our microwave oven, and then down below that we have a 2-burner cooktop, which they did turn sideways, which I think is a great idea because there's just not a lot of countertop space here to work with, and to turn the burners the other way would have made it really, really tight and awkward. And then they have a nice round sink in here. It's not very big, but it's also big enough that you can actually wash the dishes. And then of course you have this gooseneck faucet overhead. There is an outlet here as well, so if you wanted to try to wedge a coffee pot in here somehow and make some coffee in the morning, you can certainly do that as well. Underneath of your sink, this cabinet opens up, and then you'll find the cover that goes over top of the sink, so you can make some additional countertop space that way. And then there's another cabinet over here. Now there's no drawers in here for your kitchen utensils or pots and pans, so you're gonna have to make the best of it with that stuff. Susan and I use clear plastic bins to store a lot of our kitchen items and miscellaneous items around the RV. And they're terrific because we can see in them and we know what's in there, so we can grab the correct bin. And so maybe this is the kind of situation where that would work out really well for you as well. And then next to your kitchen is where the refrigerator is. Now for a small travel trailer, this is a big refrigerator. Up top here, we have a really good sized freezer. And then down below that, your refrigerator is very, very large, plenty of space in here. It's missing one of the trays that fits on the doors for some, they haven't installed it yet. It's still wrapped up in all the plastic in here. But anyway, that's a great size fridge for a smaller travel trailer. Now, I also want to point out, there is a rooftop air conditioner in here as well. And again, for a smaller, inexpensive travel trailer, that's a great feature to have. Now here we are in the bathroom, all the way in the back of this travel trailer, and the bathroom runs from side to side. So it's a decent sized bathroom in here. I'm standing in the shower like I usually do, and let's get some measurements in here from the shower floor up into the vent here. We've got about 6 feet 3 inches of headroom, and overall in this camper from the floor to the ceiling you would have about 6 feet 6 inches of headroom. The shower itself measures in at about 23 inches, and then on the width we're looking at about 36 inches. So decent sized shower in here. Now this again is a very basic trailer, and the shower is very basic as well. The walls that are in these campers are all waterproof, and so they didn't put a surround in here. They just left the regular walls that are in here, but they've caulked all the corners and everything, and so that makes it watertight and you're able to use it that way. It's got a very basic shower wand and shower faucet in here, and then it comes with a shower curtain. If you don't like the shower curtain, which you know I don't if you've seen any of our videos, you can always buy a retractable shower door for a couple $100 and put that in yourself, easy as can be. Now Susan's standing in the shower and I'm on the other side of the bathroom, and the first thing I want to point out is this really nice linen closet in here. I mean, there's plenty of storage space in here for all of your linens, towels, extra TP, all that good stuff. And then next to that, we've got a really good sized medicine cabinet up top. It's nice and deep. I would say 10 inches deep in there, so you can stow away a lot of items up there. The vanity here, Susan really likes this feature. She pointed this out when we were walking through it before we started shooting. And it's deeper than usual, and so your sink and faucet are towards the front, and that gives you extra countertop space in the back of it, where you can put some things back there. Maybe you have a little toiletry bag that you keep, or I don't know, other personal items. You can just set them up on the countertop there, and there's also a receptacle there for your convenience. And then down below the sink is even a little more storage underneath. You might keep some of your toilet chemicals like Matt's Liquefied, for example, underneath there, and you will be good to go. So here I am sitting on the toilet in the bathroom, and as far as the elbow test, oh, I almost make it on the left, but on the right-hand side, I've got plenty of room. Now in the front of this trailer and underneath of the bed inside is where you've got this nice big pass-through storage compartment, so you can stow away all of your camping gear. Hey guys, let us know what you think about these 3 travel trailers in the comments down below. We'd love to hear your thoughts all about them, and we would love to hear what you like and don't like about them, and also what you think about the show prices here. But if you want to check out even more travel trailers, just click the box down below, and Susan and I will see you in the next video.